in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of Away with Words, the podcast. It's your girl Bree Stories.
It's A Tati.
And it's MJM Kid.
And we have a guest.
Special
we are
guest.
here with Vo the Goat.
Hey,
What's up? What's up?
Oh, the goat.
I like
that.
I like that in your reels.
Right.
With the goat emojis. So that's what I'm gonna call you today.
I appreciate that.
That's a good name.
Thank you so much for
appreciate it.
coming. We're
Yes.
looking forward to having some good conversation with you. But first, Tati, would you like to break some
Break
ice?
ice. Okay. What fictional, in honor of you, I made this like a little music related.
Okay.
So, what fictional pop star or singer or artist was actually a bop? Was actually,
Like really good?
yes, that you would play?
Freestyle
right now?
Unity
Okay.
off of the Parkers.
Oh.
That's hilarious.
That was a good group.
What was their song?
Why is my first song from the episode where that clown died, Mama killed him? You know what I'm talking about? That's not what I'm thinking
Because the
about.
song that I'm hearing
It's
is
on
their
the
songs
Parkers.
from Moesha
Oh,
that I'm
yeah.
thinking
You
of.
thinking
Because
about
that was
round
a,
and round and
Oh,
round?
that is a
No.
hit.
Go.
Yeah.
that how
Yeah.
hard I'm gonna play
Oh,
you
you
won't even know what to do.
Was that off
That's
my
that.
Alicia?
I think so. You won't
Okay,
even
so I
know.
don't
Oh no,
remember.
maybe that is.
I think that was Freestyle Unity.
yeah, that is. Yeah, or
Just
just
off the
Kim.
Parkers.
It was
That
on-
might have just
it
been
was the
Kim.
Yeah, Kim.
Yes, this
on
is
the
from
Parkers.
Parkers. Okay.
Sleep. Wow.
Okay.
Do yourself a favor and
Yeah.
YouTube some
Do
Freestyle
yourself a
Unity
favor.
later. But no, they had hits.
You came up with that quick, too.
Because I think about them a lot.
Yeah.
This is a Kim Parker Stan account.
Oh, not the stand account.
Who would you say?
For me, I'm gonna go with maybe Powerline.
Dang it, Tati.
Damn.
Why would you say that?
That's a good
I
one.
love
Are you
it.
serious? Oh.
Or
I should start going before you.
I would say the other one,
You
but
was
you
gonna say
might
that?
say that
Yes.
one too. Do you have a backup?
Yes, don't say it.
Okay, I'm not gonna say it because I feel like I might say the same thing. Okay, I'm gonna wait. Okay, you go.
I
and then
forgot
I'm
their
gonna say my
name
other
though.
one.
But Marcus's band on Smart
Yep,
Guy.
that's literally what I was about to say, and I was
Yep.
like, no, I'm not gonna say it because
Yes.
Michael's
Your
gonna say
brain.
it.
Yes.
No, Marcus was
Yeah.
singing his ass off. to
But what
them
was the name of their
girls.
band though?
I don't remember.
We always, what's
Girl,
the
you
one
know
that
I'm
dogging
dogging
you?
you.
Why you wanna play a fool?
Definitely. It's a hit. I just watched that episode recently.
I was
love
thinking
Marcus.
like the Chipmunks, man. I was
Oh,
Yes.
cold. They'll be the coldest group
No,
ever.
they do cold ass remixes
Yeah,
for
they do.
sure.
Absolutely.
I love it.
We should bring that back. I feel like that should be more like mainstream. Just the
Yeah.
sound of chipmunks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Can we handle it? Is it annoying now, though?
It might be.
Yeah.
But
I
maybe
don't
not as
know.
a full song. Maybe just as like a background.
But like
part of
just
a
the
sample.
high pitched like voices, like even
Yeah.
if it's not the Chipmunks, because Charlie Bit Me was great when they made that
Oh,
little
when they
boy's
remixed it.
voice
Yeah.
really high.
Tell me
Yeah.
about that was
Yeah,
great.
Charlie
was
Bit Me
good.
was
That song
a
was amazing.
yeah, that was good. So
That
it
is
works.
so
When
funny.
it works, it works.
Yeah. Yeah.
When it
So
works.
look at us. I'm gonna say call us.
Right.
We'll do your song arrangements. Anyway, you want to start checking?
Yeah, let's check in. Physically, I'm sore from yesterday's activities. I taught a dance class yesterday, and it went
Yes.
very well. Shout out to everybody who came. We killed it. Emotionally, I'm feeling joy right now. Very present. My attention is on. I'm just gonna say right now,
Word.
present in the moment. And spiritually, I feel I'm pretty blessed. That's pretty much a simpler form to describe it.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love it.
Physically, I'm feeling loose. I want to quick tangent about last night.
Okay.
So y'all know how the girls on TikTok be like, be delusional.
Yeah.
You know, you ever see those videos?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, one of the things that I've noticed about myself is like trying is never good for me. If that makes any sense. Like if I have to tell myself to be delusional, if it's like it feels like I'm trying, I'm striving, it's not gonna work. Like I'm
Yeah.
trying to do a thing instead of setting an intention and just letting it happen.
Right.
But last night was my very first time And I didn't notice until I got home. Like, I was really delusional. Like, I walked in there literally like, I'm about to kill this. Like, Michael's
Right.
about to teach this dance. I'm going to get it quickly. I'm going to do so well. And what happened was I didn't do that great. However,
Stories,
but like, I was so present and so into it. And like, you've taught me dances before.
Yeah.
And you've also taught me dances in like group settings. And I remember being that version of me and being very aware of like, Michael hangs out with pro dancers. This isn't my element. Like, usually I'll go to the back, like, you know, like trying to hide myself. But
you were right in front, though.
I came right in front.
You did, right next to me.
Just doing my thing. Not
Why do you think you didn't do that?
She
great?
did
Why?
so
Why are
good.
you perceiving it that way?
No. It's okay. It's fine.
You wasn't there?
Dancing is not my zone of genius, and that's literally okay. And it's not that I can't do it. It's just that it's not natural for me. So it just takes me a little more time.
Yeah.
Now, when you have your next class in October, me and Big A was talking.
Yeah.
Pull up your non-shiners from the last class for the beginning of the
Right,
class.
yes. Oh, I'm
and I'm
definitely
gonna have
doing
it
that.
down. It's gonna be
Right,
good, right?
right.
But just like in an hour and a half's time, like the way that, and I'm with pro dancers, like these girls dance. You know what I'm saying? And Michael dances. But I was really proud of myself because
No,
I
you
wasn't
did so
thinking about
good.
that at all. And it
Yeah.
literally wasn't until I was in the car. I was like, girl, like, you weren't really front row material, but you did that. But you did that.
Not you really weren't front row material.
Child,
She
but,
was.
but it was a really good time, and I was really just the energy. You know,
Everybody's
it
energy
just
was
felt
up.
really, really good. It
did.
felt really good.
Everybody's energy was
and
up.
my body loved it. And
Yeah.
now I know choreography that I can continue to practice, and that can be part of my workout. You know, like that.
Right.
It's just good. It's just good. So
I love that.
I think you
I'm
did
very
great.
thankful. Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's what I think.
Emotionally, I'm feeling very, very joyful. Same as you, McGee. My attention is currently on this moment. I'm here, and spiritually, I'm feeling very. I feel like I know something no one else does.
That's what's up.
Mysterious.
I like that.
Yeah.
So physically, I am feeling. Physically, I feel a little. What's the good word for it? Like, not tired, but like if your heart is like beating fast, like if you were like in a rush.
Heartache.
Or
Is it
something.
a little like
just kidding.
anxiety?
Heartache.
It's like a little anxiety in your chest.
No, not anxiety, but
Just a pumping heart.
Are you excited?
Adrenaline is up?
yeah, adrenaline.
Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
I feel, you know, like when you feel like a little antsy just because you're just moving a lot or you're doing a lot. Like I
Yeah.
feel a little bit of adrenaline.
You can do good things with that. I love that.
Okay. And emotionally, I feel contentment in this specific moment. And my attention is on, what is my attention on? My attention is on this moment. My attention is on this
Everybody's
moment.
Love
I'm
that.
present,
Yeah, definitely.
very present. And spiritually, I feel anxious. Spiritually, I feel like I'm just waiting for something to change or move or shake something. So.
Yeah.
Word. Bo, how are you feeling
Your turn.
physically?
Physically, I should have went first, man. Now I'm trying to
That's okay.
outdo y'all. Physically, I feel I'm gonna say tight. I'm a little tight right now.
Okay.
What we say mentally?
Emotionally.
Emotionally, I feel, to be honest, a little unaware. I'm a little unaware of my emotional state right now.
That's honest.
Yeah,
That's very
That's
honest.
good.
it
Okay.
is.
That's
It
okay.
is, which kind of clashes with my intentions. I just got on social media to put up a boomerang of us, and seen something that that kind of distracted me a little bit. So my intentions is kind of like I'm here and there.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah. So I'll deal with that later. Spiritually, I feel pretty full spiritually. Pretty full. Did I answer them all?
Yes,
You did.
I love that.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, so pretty full spiritually.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's
Let's get
dope.
into it. Let's get into
What?
it.
That whole
Oh, the
Oh, the
check-in,
check-in.
the check. That's good. I'm happy that you
We love that.
enjoyed it.
Me too. I'm like, yeah, me too.
yeah.
So I had been listening to Life Jennings all
I'm
last
crying.
week. I have been playing his album, and I was listening to that song over and over again. Hypothetically, of course.
Hypothetically, I used to love that song.
That's
And
a jam. Okay.
Everybody did. Yeah.
Today's
two versions of that
episode
song,
is
right?
inspired by that song.
Oh,
Hypothetically.
I love
Yes,
that.
today's episode is inspired by that song. So this is a lot of hypothetically, how would you feel in this scenario, or how would you handle this scenario?
I'm
Or
nervous.
also you could say if you actually have been in the scenario already, and then say how you handled it. So the first one, I'm sure none of us have been in this scenario, but
Not, I'm sure.
if you woke up and you were 100 feet tall,
Mm.
how would you feel? Look at
That's
your
terrifying.
face.
That is
You said,
terrifying.
Because that is really scary.
100 feet tall.
yeah.
That's pretty tall.
What's something that's 100 feet?
See, math is not
Like
my
the
strong
buildings?
suit, so I don't.
Yeah,
I was
I mean,
about to say a building, but I feel like that's true.
How many
I mean, I
stories?
know.
How many
stories
Right.
would be 100 feet?
Let me ask Google.
Yeah.
Continue.
So then it has to be. So buildings
Either
are probably.
way.
So buildings are obviously taller than 100 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
Right, they're way taller. So okay. So at least you'd still be shorter than.
Yeah.
Than the skyline.
Yeah. That'll be interesting because I don't think nothing in
Ooh, a
life is
tree. A tree is probably 100 feet tall.
a pretty
100
big
feet
one.
nearly rounds to 9 to 15 stories.
What is?
Oh,
9 to
100
15
feet
stories.
nearly rounds to 9 to 15 stories. That I don't understand how that works,
Yeah.
but yeah. So
let's just say 9.
either way, that's too big
Yeah.
to wake up as. And I think that I would feel terrified. I certainly wouldn't fit in my home. I don't think that my home is not 100 feet, from wall
Could
to
you
wall.
lay right in that hall? Just lay straight
Oh.
and let your feet stretch to
But
where
now
the
you're
bar
asking me to be
or
way
something
skinnier
is
than I
into-
am. Because I feel like
well,
my-
if you're
I
100
feel like
feet
I would
tall, your
grow
body's
pro-
gonna stretch. So then maybe
So it
you
wouldn't
would
be like
skinny.
me still being proportionately the way that I am, just taller.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just
Because if it
envisioning.
is, my hips not.
No,
won't
I'm just
be in that
envisioning
hallway.
you just being
I'd be
sick
scared.
person.
Final answer. I'd be scared.
Yeah.
I already said that.
Because
I'm
I also
terrified.
we've seen movies. You see how they treat Godzilla and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
you
gonna
gotta
shoot
them
me down.
Yeah, definitely.
That's really terrible.
Yeah.
Well, he's awesome.
I'm scared. I'm
kinda like a
scared, this is
monster.
possible.
But they would think of us as monsters at that point.
Yeah. At that point.
Michael is upset.
We're going to be monsters if we're that tall.
Yeah, I'm definitely envisioning 100
It's like
person
King
just walking down the
Kong.
street.
And I'm black. You know they gonna be coming with the King Kong gorilla shit. Come on.
Yeah, for sure.
What can you do to increase your finances at that height? Because I'm
Yo.
thinking man, I go to the league, but then it's like
They're
I
gonna
have to
ban
sit
you, I feel
down
like.
and still
Right.
be too tall. I'll be throwing the ball down.
You just
trying-
got to drop it in there.
Yeah.
The ball would be so little
Yeah.
in comparison.
All the
What can
games would
you
have to
do?
be outside.
What requires
So that you can fit in
to
the
be-
arena.
Oh, you know what? Even buildings, I would probably.
Ooh.
Yeah, you can
Or
say
window washers
that's
Word.
all.
for the
Yeah,
skyscrapers. Yeah.
But I bet you the builders would make more money.
that's true.
Yeah.
I don't
Or
know what
apple
you can
pickers.
do at that.
You're thinking of such modest jobs.
Yeah,
A window washer. an
But
apple
I feel
picker.
like if you're 100 feet tall, that's going to turn into a whole empire.
Yeah,
like
I'm
I
about to
feel
say
like
that you
it's
could
still
just
going to
create
turn into
content.
money. Yeah.
At that point,
what does it look like though?
it's like my
You'll be
100
the
feet
most
life.
popular man in the world by far.
Yeah, it'll be called my 100-foot life,
But the
and
dating market.
you just vlog. I'll just vlog every day.
They have a show like that too.
Who's
lot of-
filming you?
That's called
Yeah.
my
I'm trying to figure
Who's
that
doing
out.
this all day?
You have to be on buildings all day.
Yeah, I don't know how I would do the filming part. I would have to have a very special camera.
They have a show
It would
about
have
a
to be
girl
huge.
that's like 7 feet
Yeah.
tall, and when I've seen that show, I'm like, she looks so tall,
Yeah,
and that's only 7 feet.
yeah, 100 feet would be terrible.
Like her
you-
her width is just
Would you prefer to date a man taller than you?
yeah,
Would you?
for sure.
For sure.
Yes.
So if we're saying prefer, maybe, but I don't really take that into account as much as I find other women do.
Yeah.
I mean,
You really wouldn't if you was that
it's like I
soft.
prefer it, if I'm being honest. But I think I've dated people shorter than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just won't date anybody then at that point? At 100
'Cause she's
feet tall, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Not. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're,
I mean, but if
tall,
I-
wouldn't you just be like, well, fuck it, because who?
Yeah, I wouldn't have a choice but to date somebody shorter than me.
Could you?
But
date
I feel like somebody
100 feet
wouldn't-
tall?
This is insane.
No,
Probably not.
I hate
That'd be
this. I
crazy.
hate this.
I think it's strange when I envision, like, because Shaq is always dating, like, he doesn't just date,
And
you
he's
know, like
7'2".
women that's like my height. Like, I'm 5'8", so I'm a tall girl before you get to the, like, model
tall
stature.
girls,
You
yeah.
know, like, I'm a tall girl for, like, the average girl.
Right.
And he doesn't date women that are like my height.
No.
that's
Like,
not.
Shaq,
5'2".
yeah, like, he's dating little
like,
women. And
but
I
that's-
always be like, what's happening in that
But
bedroom?
it be women like that want men that tall. Because, like,
Yeah.
we have a friend who's literally 5 feet and will be like,
And she definitely wants
I don't,
that.
he said he was 5'11", and I don't, like, are you stupid, girl? That's still 11 inches bigger than you.
Exactly.
Yeah. I
And
was
here
saying to
I
her
am
all the
just-
time. I'd be like, you can date somebody that's my height.
And be,
Yeah, they're still taller
towered
than you.
over.
Yeah.
And
She
she's
says
still like,
no.
no, he has to be 6'5". It's
She's
like,
ridiculous.
No, because I'm
Why?
not huge on the actual amount of height over me. Like,
Me
you don't
neither.
have to
That's
be
what
like,
it is,
I don't need
too.
you to be 6'5" or something today,
Right.
but I do want you to be taller than me.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is in general. Just like the proximity between you and me in general. Because
Yeah.
I don't think that I can date anybody who is
Much shorter.
literally like a short person. I don't know, but I've never tried. So who knows?
But 100 feet, like.
That's I don't.
Shaq's 7 foot.
I would not imagine this. I don't
Yeah.
like it. Before we move on, can I compliment you?
Yes.
So I hate
like,
sounding like
no.
a I shouldn't premise it this way. But you know, some old heads are starting to sound kind of bitter about like hip hop, right? It's just like, no, that shit is trash. All this new shit you look, and I don't think of it that way. I think
Right.
that hip hop has expanded, right? I don't think that it's not necessarily that it evolved past what hip hop was, because there are certain people who still do hip hop the way hip hop originated, but that it's expanded. Now there are more ways to do hip hop, right? And you
Yeah.
just choose what you gravitate towards the most. Now, what's most popular, you know, that can be another story. But it was really, really refreshing as somebody with that kind of like old head brain to hear you rap. And it made me really, really happy because I don't know what I was expecting.
Yeah.
You know, when you just, especially these days, like music is so, it's a lot more well-rounded now, I would say, if I could just say that positively.
Right.
But so it's like you really don't know. When somebody says I'm a rapper, there's not a sound that you just like gravitate to
Right.
automatically. It's just like, you don't know what the fuck that sound like.
Yeah.
Lots of rappers sound very different, but you have like such a classic sound. And the things that I've heard so far, like there's nothing like, not to say there's anything wrong with this, but it's not like very bouncy. You know, like it's very just like real raw bars, and I just really appreciate that.
Thank you.
So,
Yes, they are.
Appreciate
Yes.
it.
for sure,
Yeah.
it made me really happy. I'm like, wow, it's few and far between nowadays, and I still really like that. I know that
That's
I'm the old bitch in the club now, but
I get intrigued
I like what
by
I like.
thought-provoking material.
Definitely.
Like anything to make you kind of, damn, I ain't see it from that angle.
yeah,
But I'm not one of those. I'm with you. I'm not one of them bitter guys that look at the young. It's needed, I guess. It's
Dad.
needed. It's a nice balance, and I probably wouldn't stand out a little bit if it wasn't for them.
right,
Right.
exactly.
But at the same time, it's like, I got a saying where I feel like success is, like worldwide success is based on like the population's IQ. So depending on how intelligent, I mean, you could look at the most popular artists in the world and get a good idea of what position the world is in. So what I do is not that popular, but it
Yeah.
ain't too many people that want to.
That's a really, really good way of thinking about it.
Yeah.
And I think that helps, keep our egos intact, to just
Right.
understand that everything isn't for everybody. And that in itself is a privilege.
Right.
Like, you really don't want to be for everybody.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
I
amazing.
love that. Thank you.
Well, now I have to ask one more question before we jump back into the topic. Because, you know, Bree brought up how your style is so more similar to like the old school way of hip hop, and as I was like stalking you and stalking your social media, and like I saw a video where you were talking to corporate, I believe, and he was telling you that it was lazy that you want to write your rhymes down, that you write them down, and he was saying, you know, no, he was like, you think about it in your head and then just come back to it later, just store it in your memory, come back to it later. And he was like, but this nigga's lazy because he wrote them down. And me, you know, being a writer, I love the idea of writing something down on paper.
Yes.
I think that makes it real. I think it makes it authentic. I also think that it's therapeutic as well as going through the process. But our generation, you know, is kind of in that limbo of like we understand both sides, like the new and also. How do you feel about? Do you write all your rhymes down on paper, or is that just sometimes?
I utilize the voice memo feature more than anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll be in traffic, and I am that guy. I'll piss you off. I'm literally. I got my notebook on the steering wheel. When it's going, it's like it's going, man. I can't. It's definitely a muscle that you can exercise, I guess, what corporate was trying to say. But he was trying to downplay the fact that, like, everybody has this gift, was his stance. And I'm just like, no, you can do it, bro. You, like, special. You got a talent, bro. Like, everybody can't do that. And his thing is like, no, they can. Back
do you
to
think
the paper,
it matters?
To me, personally. So Jay-Z say he don't write anything. With Jay-Z, if I just had to listen to him, I would think that he literally took his time and wrote everything down. I know everybody not as skilled as Jay-Z, so I'm going to take him out. But typically, I can tell when somebody wrote something versus just going in the studio. And then music, we got this thing where time is money. So you go to the studio, it's like, man, just press record and whatever come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not like that, because then you'll get a 3-minute song, and like that's my biggest fear, for you to give me 3 minutes and 30 seconds of your time and literally leave the same way you came. Like nothing changed. Just, it was just a moment and that was it.
So you actually think there, or for some artists, there's actually a downside to not writing things down?
Most definitely.
Okay.
It'll be good for the moment, but it's like it don't live. I mean, you can go back to, you know, some old school music that's still suitable for the day. Like just the content is so, they really thought this thing out. Like it's extremely intelligent. Other things be like, what? Okay.
Yeah.
It's a song of ad-libs.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
It's an entire song
and people,
of just,
I think, also misinterpret what it means when people like Jay-Z say that they don't write their lyrics, right? He also is reiterating as needed. You know what I'm saying? He's also listening back and critiquing his own work and making sure, you know, like, it's not just all right, press record and see what happens, you know? And I think that's what a lot of these kids are doing. Not to call y'all kids to, like, belittle y'all, but I mean just, like, younger people in the industry. I think that that's what they're doing in, like, and trying to connect that to what a Jay-Z and a Lil Wayne does.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And there is something to the writing process that is similar to the process of what Jay-Z and Lil Wayne do, which is really like looking into what it is that they're saying and making sure that they're saying what they mean.
Right.
And I think that that's why writing is really important. I think that the Jay-Z's and the Lil Waynes of the world obviously have that muscle, but that's the same muscle that you use to write.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I love that. So what is your ideal, like, your ideal topic of rap? Like, what is it that you are passionate about
The most
creating about?
It's a lot of shit. Can I cuss?
Absolutely.
Like, why haven't you yet?
Why haven't you?
Now I'm just getting them out. Yeah. Damn.
I love that.
It's a lot of shit that I could do.
Yeah.
Literally in my sleep. I'm just a natural, smooth, deep voice, laid back guy.
Absolutely.
So when it come to records catered to women, just speaking to a woman, I could do those shits in my sleep.
Got it.
It's certain topics. I'm not going to say political topics, but it's certain, you know what? Just the truth. Any truth. If it's some truth that we ignore or some foolish shit that we celebrate, them the topics I really excel on.
Yeah.
And do you think that with that being your content of choice, do you think that that's another thing that differentiates you from, that puts you in that category of a classic hip hop artist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
I love that. I think that it's important that we know that there's room for everything.
Yeah.
You know, and I think a lot of people and I hate how much shine it takes away from artists that do the type of work that you do by the arguing of, oh, we're just not in that era anymore. Or like, oh, we just don't care about that shit anymore. Or, oh, we want to shake our ass and don't nobody want to hear all of that. And it's like, or we're all like multifaceted human beings who need all of those things,
Right.
you know?
Right.
I wish that the conversation was more that way and less like pitting the two against each other.
How often do you get on YouTube and just look up some science type shit?
Often.
Do you?
Science,
Yeah.
like actual science, like the
Like just
subject.
Psychology,
regular.
which is
Yeah.
science.
Oh,
So,
well,
yeah, I
in
do
that
that
case,
a lot.
yeah. Okay, I'm trying to think of it. What about just a typical day in life of a construction worker?
Never.
Nope.
Cement.
Yeah.
Like
no.
all that shit is needed, but it don't
Yes.
necessarily interest me,
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
but it's needed. So
Yeah.
that's the thing that kind of keep me afloat. Like I understand my audience is small, but I don't like the bullshit they try to throw as far as like, if you can't relate, that's a you. Don't make it like it's my
Yeah.
fault. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Yeah.
So if you want me to dumb me down, that's like a mental insecurity of I don't get it. You make me feel
Small.
stupider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dumb
for
that
sure.
shit down so I can understand it.
Right.
And it's like in that situation, like, no. If you like party music, I can guarantee you will not be partying for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Eventually, your ass gonna grow to what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and the best thing I could do is just put it out there, because if it's the truth, it's not gonna play out.
I
I
love
think
that.
some of my music in 5, 10 years now, 15, 20 years now, still
Yeah.
be, it's nuggets to me.
Yeah.
It's gems, and I understand that everybody not in that position right now, but you'll get there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's like this misconception that intelligence in music equals to boring.
Right.
Or, you know, like when 444 came out and 50 Cent was like, it's kind of like elevator music
Right,
for
right.
rap, or, you
What
know.
a simple-minded.
Yeah.
He gets.
You hate 50
Yeah,
Cent.
I know.
He got so
Yeah.
I
upset.
gotta tell you
What a
about that
simple-minded jerk. Like, this guy
He's a
got
troll.
so mad. No, he is. I can't stand 50 Cent. But yeah, there is like that huge misconception. It's like sometimes you have to be willing to give things a try and listen to things in the first place, because like you said, every day is not a party, but that same guy that you can, like, you're perceiving him as
Right.
like, oh, all he wants to talk about is the world and life, or like, you know, sometimes he's in the club.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
when you talk about a whole body of work of somebody's, like, it's gonna be full of, you know, different things and different topics. But I wanted to ask you, what are you inspired by? Like, what artists of today or past, any?
Honestly, I'll say all of them. To do what they do, or being a fan of what they do, I say definitely like the Jay-Z, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar. I love corporate, my brother. But then on the flip side, it could be somebody who's not as lyrical that inspired me as well. I might hear a track or hear a certain cadence and be like,
Oh yeah.
oh, this
Definitely.
shit was weak as hell. I'm about to body this and not get inspired off
I
of
love
just
that.
showing how to
Right.
do this shit.
I love
Okay.
But it all inspired me. I'm literally like, I don't understand how people not like this. Like, even when I came down here, I'm like completely intrigued when I see shit that I can't do. And I'm looking at this shit like, damn, this is and everybody not like that. They not like that, but I'm
That's
intrigued
true.
by it. Like, man, it's genius to me. If you can do something I can't do, I'm amazed by it. But
Yeah.
yeah, everybody not. You just like
That's
what you
good.
like, whatever you can relate to. If the shoe fit, you'll wear it. If it don't, you would try to come up with anything to make yourself feel a little better on the inside. Even
Right.
if it leak out as hate, or he too deep, or
Right.
he whatever it is. But back to your initial question, I'm inspired by literally it'll blow your mind. LeBron James inspired me. Just watching him hoop. Steph Curry inspired me.
Okay.
Chris Brown don't even do what I do musically, but just to watch him dominate what he do. Usher, tennis players, golf players.
Yeah.
Golf
my
players.
God, I get inspired. Even golf, like the
can't mess with
patience,
golf.
the poise they hold.
It takes patience for you to
Yeah.
watch it. Like that game takes patience
like,
all the
you're
way
the one with
around.
the
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
like that is a skill.
I love that you just said that, because there's something that I don't think that I've ever articulated about my ability to like so many different things or appreciate so many different things. And it's like, you really have to take the good out of each thing, right?
Yeah.
So like this quote unquote new age, like this more expanded idea of hip hop lyrics, which is my zone where I really, really thrive and where I appreciate. Like, I love words, I love artistry, like songwriting is my shit. But the new kids have flows that we've never fucking heard
Yeah,
before.
they really do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're doing stuff on different types of instrumentals and beats and things that sound more techie and things that are like damn near not instrument based at all. And it's like, it's like, come on, y'all. Like, when the niggas are being like, this shit is trash, I'm like, you don't hear nothing about this that's
Yeah.
just like kind of cool. Like,
Yeah, right.
it's just so like new and different. And like, you know, like, I don't think that Coi Leray is
I love
lyricist
her.
of the year,
Yeah,
but the
right.
girl is raw to me.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I love
She's
her
amazing.
voice.
I think
love
she's
the
a
I
good
love what
artist.
she does.
Yeah.
I love what she does with her music.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm always so like interested when people just have no. It's the rigidity, which I get because I come from that. But, you know, I'm learning to open myself up more. But like people like my dad, and I just be like, come on, dog. Like
Nothing.
like nothing
got
about
nothing.
this. Like, you know, say
Yeah.
nothing about. Like, me and him got into a whole debate about Chief Keef, and I'm like, bro, like, you gonna sit here and try to say like nothing about Chief Keef is appealing to you?
Right.
Like, nothing. Like, that's crazy to me. But I love that you are able to kind of pick the things out, even of the things that are so far out from what you do, and see what you can do with it and how
Right.
it can inspire you. I think
Right.
that's really, really open of you.
Right.
And not enough people are that way. I mean, I shouldn't say not enough people, because not everybody is meant to be that way. But you know what I mean.
It's like 7.8 billion people in this world. I really don't think people fully understand how big this world is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Because
if it's
it feels
like,
so small.
It do, but it's like, man, you just got to get outside of your.
Absolutely.
Like, you'll be surprised. Like, just Chicago, just the mindset of Chicago. This might not be a place that appreciate me the most, but like my biggest fan base, I guess you can call it, is like South Africa.
I love
So
that.
when I get my analytics back, it's like, oh, you can't tell them I'm not the shit.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? Sweden, Dubai. When the numbers come back, it's like, wow, they listen to me. You know, and I get, you know, a lot of people don't see the notifications that I get, but I get them in
exactly.
real time. And it's
Right.
like, yeah, some places I go to Walmart or whatever, and some people will lose their freaking mind when they see me. But a lot of people just, you know, if you don't get it, you just don't get it. And there's nothing wrong with that.
And
but
that's
it's
okay.
8 billion, like TD Jakes might not be for you.
Not at
You
all.
might like a Joel Osteen type of preaching,
Not
or you
even.
might like
Not
yeah, you say not at all.
Just like-
Well, and that's the beauty of life. There's so many different
like
options
those are
out there for
interesting.
you to, So when I get over listening to Chief Keef and now I enter this new arena of my life, Chief Keef might not do it for me no more.
Yeah.
Now I might need Toby. Y'all heard of Toby?
Yeah.
Toby, I
Very
love
dope,
Toby,
very
man.
dope.
Or you might need it's just variety is good.
And that's the thing. I think that it's so important that we remember. I think I want that to be the takeaway from this episode for sure, because I don't know if we've ever talked about this, but the internet, we've talked a lot about the internet and just the abyss of debate and like the lack of nuance, and it's like this black or white, like if it's not that, then it's this, and there's nothing else.
Nothing else.
And it's just like, well, it's so much out there, you know, and I just don't want people to be so caught up in the conversation that they're limiting themselves when there are people that align with you and you just wouldn't even know it, because Twitter told you that the only thing that's in right now is, you know, whatever is the top 40.
Right. Trending.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
it's just so much more out there. Before we move on to hypotheticals because I'm having fun with that. I'm just scared. I don't want to be 100 feet tall. I did want to ask you too. Do you ever make music about bodybuilding?
That's interesting.
I got a couple records. That's I'm a big. You ever heard of Eric Thomas?
I haven't. I don't think so.
Super. He like the #1 motivational speaker in the world right now.
That's what's up.
So E.T. They call him E.T. He's just, when he opened his mouth, he just speak a lot of go do it, you can do it, discipline, you know, motivation. So I do have a lot of those records that you can apply to the workout world.
Got it.
I got records where I'm like, do your bicep curls? I ain't got none of those. I don't have none of those, but I got a lot of videos where I probably shoot workout videos to them and package it that way. Yeah.
Okay.
Got it. Because I write music sometimes, and sometimes I think that I'm a little too abstract. And so I'll be like, the shit that hits me the most when I listen to other people's music is shit that's like, this is like a literal sentence that I've said before. Like, very relatable.
Yeah.
Like, this is like a conversation. And I always admire that so much. And sometimes I go to myself and I'll be like, well, what do you do all the time that you could just write about?
Yeah.
Like, it don't always hit like that, though. So I wanted to know if you
heavy,
ever merge those things together.
You're a heavy thinker?
I guess so.
Yeah, definitely she is.
Yeah.
Not my concern of it.
sure.
Yeah.
No, she
I just
definitely
get
is.
the shit out, man. I try not to think what people need or do they,
that's a good way to go
what would
about
they
it.
feel? Man, I just put the shit out.
I love that.
I just put it out. Like, it's just release
good
therapy
advice.
for me. Yeah.
That is good
That's good
advice.
advice.
Yeah, and just put
For
it out.
everything.
For all
'cause
things.
especially in the realm that we're in. It's
Yeah.
a lot of.
We were just
A
talking
lot of
about
doubt.
it before we started. We were like,
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Thank you
It's
for
a
that.
gift and a curse. Your thought process is a gift and a curse.
Absolutely.
It can convince you to do some shit, but you'll easily convince yourself not to do some shit if you
Very easily.
wait too long. It's like, man, just put it out. You never know who gone. The shit that really, I got videos that did like, I got one video in particular that hit 26 million views.
Okay.
Probably the weakest shit I ever did.
Wow.
To me.
Yeah.
But then it'd be some shit I do that's like, oh my God, I'm finna break the internet tomorrow. Man,
It's
that
always,
shit, dude.
it's always
Yeah.
that.
It
It's
really is.
always that.
Yeah, so it just be like, man, I just put
Yeah,
the
you
shit
just
out.
gotta put it out. I love that.
Yeah. Well, since we got off into, we talked about music so much, then one of my hypotheticals
Here we go.
was
Here we go.
if you had the power to end any rap / pop culture beef that is like current or past or whatever, like, what would you do with this power?
Ooh, to end a beef.
You know what? I would go. My initial thought was the Pac and Biggie.
me too.
Yeah, that was my initial thought. But like, I don't know. Like, and I don't want to sound crazy, but it's like, was that needed? Did we learn anything from that? And am I willing to throw away everything we learned
After that and during that time.
Yeah. But at the
Do
same
you think we
time-
learned?
And that's my thing.
I think
You
it
would
created
really-
a culture and an era that, like, I wonder what the rest of hip hop would have been without it.
Yeah.
You know?
Everything shifts. Like,
Yeah.
anything that could happen shifts everything. So
Absolutely.
rather I would say like, yeah, it changed this, or I can't say what it changed, but it definitely changed something. And it's like, man, if they were still here, I don't know.
I hate what I'm about to say.
Go ahead.
I feel like mine's like the beef you wanted to change was about like life and death. Like, it was saving people's lives.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking about like what popped into my head, and I'm like,
Mine too. That's what I hate what I'm about to say.
I wonder what y'all about to
Honestly,
say.
like,
Yeah, good.
y'all, stay back there, Barbs, please.
Oh.
Nikki and Carl.
I'm just I'm gonna
Nicki
say
and
Nicki
Kim.
Minaj. No, versus everyone. I
Oh,
want
Nicki versus
I want
everybody.
Peace. I want
Everybody.
peace for Nicki Minaj.
Yeah,
Like,
for
I'm not
sure.
saying that in a shady way.
Yeah, no, I understand.
It's just like, it's like every time you turn around, it's like,
There's somebody
are you
beefing with
okay?
you. There's somebody beefing with you.
No, it's her beefing with somebody. It
Yeah,
seems
no.
like.
I mean, right. That's
you
fine.
know, it don't even be seeming mutual nowadays. It's like, Nikki, like, girl, what's going on? You know, like, I just want peace for her. I just want peace for her.
Peace for
That's
her.
it. I was happy to hear Shout out to Chicago.
Katie got bands. That was amazing.
On the
Did
really,
you listen to the song?
I did.
I haven't listened
on the
to
really
it.
freaky girl. What's it called? Freaky
Super
freaky girl. Which I may not have to say this out loud, but you know, I never have to hear that song.
Yeah, I get it.
But I was happy to hear, you know, some of the not only some of the young girls, but some of the girls that don't get a whole lot of shine or haven't gotten a lot of shine historically and have been doing this shit for a long time. So that was just really, really nice.
And that's when I respect her too. I respect when she does
but
stuff like that.
I don't want to be this type of bitch, right?
Dang,
like I feel real gossipy
so
right now, but it feels almost like she's trying to compensate for the fact that everybody notices how much how angry she is at everybody.
Yeah.
It's like
Yes.
Oh,
it's like,
damn.
Onika, it's like it was a really, really nice thing that you did putting these girls on here, but then like
it wasn't out of the kindness of your heart.
it's
It
like
was-
that's what I'm saying. It's
It
like,
came
makes
from
me
a
wonder.
place.
Okay.
making
It's
me
coming from a
wonder.
place of survival because the culture has shifted,
Yeah.
and she does not exist
She doesn't
anymore
feel
in a
included.
space where she's the only one. Like she didn't have to acknowledge the people that
Exactly.
were, you know, that were trying to come up at the time, or that were equal with her, or that had the possibility to be equal with her, because she could just, you know, she didn't have to say much, and everybody would be like, oh, we're not gonna listen to her.
Right.
But now that time has passed,
Yeah,
I
I
feel like
understand.
now she's like out of survival. I have to kind of be like girl power, you know,
Right.
or else.
Especially because this era of girls
It's
are
so-
comrades.
oh my God.
Yeah,
They're all
exactly.
They're all cool.
So
Yeah,
she
they are.
has, you're right, she has no. If she continued the way she was,
Yeah.
you know, she wouldn't survive.
I just wish
in
that it
that
was.
way.
I wish that, and that's the thing. We speculate, but it's like I always wonder about her team, but also we have to also understand that there are egos involved, and sometimes regardless of who your team is, like
The industry just around her at that time probably too. It was in her ear.
yeah,
Like,
but I'm
it's
talking
just
about
you.
like
Yes.
even her team now
For
though.
sure.
Like it's like the fact that nobody is. But that's the thing. I don't know. But it's like, are people sitting her down and being like, hey, the culture has shifted. Like things are like let's.
Yeah.
Because it seems like she'd be flailing to like, no, I do fuck with bitches, and I've always fucked with bitches, and it's just like you didn't, and that's okay, girl. It's like you can start now, and it can be authentic, but it just seems like she hates
Or don't.
everybody, or don't,
Or stick to, you know,
just make the music,
Yeah.
just like make the
Like,
music,
don't.
you know.
what fucked me up? Like
Tell us.
heavy fucked me up. The so when we brought up 50, hey, shout out to Katie too. That's my sister.
Katie,
Man. When we talked about 50 and we were saying he like the biggest troll
yeah,
in today's world, I'm so fucking confused on what I'm seeing. I don't know if it's real or marketing. Like I don't know.
with him
Oh.
specifically, you're
honestly,
saying?
And
if
Everybody.
it works with him,
yeah,
then
yeah.
the illusion, just the thought of Chance the Rapper being a good guy. What if that's a marketing scheme? J. Cole being the humble guy. Like, what if that's a mark? And I'm not saying that y'all,
Like, it's all a ploy.
I fucking love Chance and J. Cole, my dude, man.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
even Kendrick Lamar, like the humble guys. Now it's like, even with Nicki, it's like, I haven't been keeping up with what's going on lately, but it's like I'm so fucking
wish I hadn't.
confused. Like, are
Yeah.
these? I don't know what I'm looking at. Are these really who they are? Is it for attention? Is it marketing scheme? Is it trolling? I don't know. Like,
That's
I don't
the
know what I'm
thing.
looking
I
at.
think that we'll never be able to tell nowadays either, not for sure, because the platform is now social media. And the whole point of social media is supposed to like give you a glimpse of what's personal and what's real.
Getting
right?
full
Whereas
access.
back in the day, a real like public relations like blowout or scheme that they would try, it'll be like something at an awards show.
Yeah.
Or like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It would be like very few and far between,
and
and like
such
you catch it when you
dating,
catch it
such
or
and
you
such,
don't.
yeah.
You know, but
Paparazzi
now it's
heavy.
like it's just this day-to-day thing, and it's like, yeah, it's hard to tell. Like, is this really what's happening? And also just the lack of thought. It's either that it is that way or it's not, and that's almost worse. It's this idea of like, so y'all just don't have any handle at all on the fact that you are a brand.
Right.
You know, it's just weird. It's like, where are the what are the people called, the publicists? Like,
Yeah.
where are the publicists? It's like, nobody is checking what your responses are if you get caught up in a scandal or you get caught in something. Nobody is helping you with your apology video or letter. It's just like, y'all are just doing whatever y'all want to do.
And this is my thing. What if they are?
That's the problem,
And
and
this
that's
is the
another. That's
plan.
a whole nother problem.
Yeah.
Because it's literally like anything that get attention. Like
crazy.
even now, like and I don't know how y'all would feel. Whatever status y'all at, y'all know y'all some a couple ignorant ass moments away from probably being the biggest shit ever.
Yes, and
This
that's
integrity probably won't allow you
I'm
to do it. But
very anxious about that.
yeah,
too.
I could make a statement. I could make an outrageous statement.
I'm like, here we
And-
go.
And we make a reel, and this shit is over. Like,
Exactly.
this shit is over. We
Yeah.
out of here.
And you know what's I think that Michael and I are always very hyper aware of that,
Yeah.
and like I'm constantly being like, we're not doing that.
Right.
And I think that I've always kind of had that, and that's why it was so refreshing too, hearing you just talk about being so comfortable knowing who your audience is, because one of the things that we did maybe like a year or two into this show is took pop culture completely out. Like we don't cover media stuff unless it's completely relevant. This
To what we're
whole
talking
show
about.
is about relatability, and
Yeah.
we're not talking about anything that we don't know anything about.
Right.
And that's really, really, really important to me. But it's like, do I know for a fact that we can come here on Saturday and we can tell Michael, like, no, we got to turn this out by tomorrow night because everybody is talking about this, and we got to, you know, it's like, do I know that that's a strategy? Yeah, but that's not who we are, you know?
At all.
Yeah.
And it's like, but it does get under my skin sometimes because, of course, those conversations, especially all of these like men versus women conversations that keep happening, that is like, it's regurgitated over and over and over and over and over and over. I mean, every fucking 5 minutes, you can throw a fucking coin and hit a bitch talking about, I'm not splitting my rent with a nigga.
Right,
or
right,
it's just
right.
so much.
High
It's
value
the
man.
Same, yeah, it's the same conversation over and over again.
Wow, I was just talking
And
to a
it's
friend
like,
about this yesterday.
and you go to, and it's such a dense, like, as a conversationalist and a writer, not to like say that as a flex, but like, it's such a dense ass conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, y'all are arguing under this, and it's like 900,000 retweets, and I'm like, this is
Hey,
insane.
and that's why I say success.
Yes, exactly,
the-
exactly. What
It's a
you said.
reflection of the population's IQ.
So we gotta be
Yeah,
patient.
that and what you just said is why I don't think when you were saying is everything like a gimmick, I don't even necessarily always think that everything is a gimmick. I just think that the time that we're in, you know, like for example, like how many women get surgery and stuff on their bodies and stuff now, that's not even really looked at, I feel like, as fake so much. Like that just is what it is. That's just where we they're just following the wave. That's just what we do. Social media is such a beast that the way these kids talk, how they relate to each other, the things that they're into, it's like that is just this time period. They're not intentionally waking, well, some people I'm sure are, but they're not intentionally waking up every day saying like, I'm gonna be fake today. What we perceive as fake is just what this time period is.
Right.
You know, like you
Right.
said, it's just the IQ or it's just what they're into. So, my little
Sorry.
petty beef that I
Yes.
was gonna break up was when Diddy broke up Danity Kane.
Thank you for saying it. Finally, somebody said it.
I need Diddy to not be hating on my girl so
just
hard.
I really just can't forgive him for that.
Absolutely no reason. When I say he had no reason or grounds to break that group
they
up,
played a part, but he didn't have to make the final
I
decision.
don't think they really. When you look at, I don't know if you guys were watching Making the Band
was.
Heavy,
Oh, yeah, I
like
was
me and Michael
heavy.
were. Okay, so when he broke them up, his whole reason behind breaking them up was just because like some of the girls hadn't been getting along. You know, like some of the girls had expressed like thinking about going solo, or some of the girls were starting to get into other ventures, like doing different things. And like that was his reasoning. Like he was on some, you guys don't want to do it? Well, I'm letting you go.
I
But
hate
then when you look at
The success.
all these movies and all these biographies about all these groups that are our favorite groups of all time, like New Edition and just, or any group we know in history that is
Yeah.
still together now. If you watch a movie about them, they broke up, got back together, had fist fights, did all types of stuff. But if everybody showed up on the day it was time to perform,
Period.
it didn't, that obviously meant you still wanted to be here and you kept it
Period.
moving. Groups didn't break up until niggas stopped coming.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and so I was so, it
Well, no,
always
I think that's something that
bothered
he
me.
pointed out, though. There were times where some of them wouldn't come.
No, I think it was, I want to say it was Aubrey. He
It
had a
was.
weird thing with her, but
He
she
did.
did another thing. She was missing her shows because she was on like Broadway, or like she was doing some type of play or something at that time.
Yeah, but it's
so she
like,
missed the
why
show
would
for that.
you-
But you're allowed to.
Yeah, you are allowed,
Things
but-
happen. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that in that moment in time that somebody wouldn't look at that and be like, oh, you should have been here. I'm
Yeah.
saying grounds for
Oh, right.
dismantling the group,
Yeah, for
taking away
sure.
their,
Yeah.
like all of that is what
Yeah,
I was
it's
saying
too much.
was unwarranted. You just did that because you were done.
Right.
Yeah.
You had gotten all the money you got out of making the band,
And he wanted shock value.
It was time to move on.
He wanted to be the world like shocked about it too.
Yeah.
Like I'm bringing y'all up,
right? It was all
because we had to watch it.
Talk about a gimmick.
Yeah.
Like that was all a part of. They wrote that show out and was like, so at the end we're gonna break them up. So yeah, that's always bothered me. So that's what I would do.
That's always bothered me.
I would
Thank you
make
for
bad
sharing
boy
that.
makeup with Danny Kane. Let's see. What if you walked in on your partner having sex with someone else?
Ooh.
If I walked in and my partner was having sex with
Spicy.
somebody else,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hypothetically, I'd just walk out.
Oh.
Yeah.
How would you feel though? Let's get you in touch
But
with
you
those
think
emotions.
that your actual actions is you would walk in the door, see it, and then you would just turn around and walk back out?
Of course, it's hypothetically, so there's no like
Yeah.
emotional attachment. If I had to, you know what? At this current moment in my life, the younger me probably would have wanted to fight the guy, but at this current moment in my life, like,
Ooh. Sorry.
man, I think probably a little bit relieved under the under the impression of, I don't think even dealing in relationships, the hardest part about being in a relationship with somebody that you might think is a little unfaithful is the fact that you don't have proof. You'll stay up all night, you'll wake up early, you'll probably vision it, you can't prove it though. I don't think I need no more proof than that.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's like before you get the proof, it's like, I wonder if, you know what I'm saying? She not picking up the phone. She said I wonder if, and then you'll create all these scenarios in your head trying to figure out the if. When you figure out the if, then you could go into the solution part of it, right? If I got all the proof I need and I could see that shit, I think a piece of me would be
It's in
relieved.
your
I don't
pussy.
need to question
Like,
it
it's
no
there.
more.
It's in there. I can see it.
I don't have
see
to.
it.
I don't have to question it. Like, now I just got to deal with it. Now I'm just straight
think-
solution based.
I think I would be crazy. I think that my natural state of being and how I conduct myself is very chill, very calm.
very
You know,
calm.
I don't get out of character pretty much for like any reason really. But I've also never been disrespected at a high level. I've never had something extreme like that happen to me, and I think that is something, because I often literally sit and think to myself, like, what is it that would tip you over the edge? Like, what
would
is
be
it that, and I think so. I think, especially if this is, now like you said, now if this is somebody that I've been kind of having instincts about, or thinking something is up, or, you know, like, I may be more inclined to have the attitude like you talked about, like seeing it, bet, and walking back out.
Yeah.
But if this is like I'm blindsided,
Yes.
we happy.
Yeah.
Like, we're happy, we're having a great time in life, and then I just walk in and you fucking somebody, I would probably be a little crazy.
Yeah.
I would probably, yeah.
So that's a little crazy.
Yeah.
Hold on, before you go, what elaborate on crazy.
What's crazy?
Like, what you
What is crazy? look
tearing
like?
shit up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. I might put my hands on him. Now the girl, I don't think I would try to. I think I would try very hard not to acknowledge her. I think I would try very hard to keep it between, unless I know her. But if
Right.
I don't know, if this is a stranger, then I'm gonna try very hard to not pay her no mind and
stay in that
focus all
corner.
my anger, right, and focus all my
I
anger
thought
on the
I
nigga.
told your ass
But
to get
I
the
think
fuck-
like I don't do all that like fighting or like raising voice, calling people out their names. Like I would foresee all that. I
Yeah.
think I might be hidden. I might be,
You know
I
what?
might be
Based-
throwing things, because I think that's an outer body experience
Based on
to have that type of betrayal.
based on your reaction, y'all would be back together. Because you don't fight for things, you over. Is it a chance y'all could still be together? I think it is. Me, it's a wrap. If I catch a woman, but that's like
That's
one of
If
those.
I catch it, like see it with my own eyes, I believe that all situations, I can see myself forgiving infidelity. Maybe it just depends on how it comes to light. But I think that seeing something with my own eyes
It's
is
a
an
game
image I'll
changer.
never be able to get out of my
No, you
head.
won't,
So
yeah.
it's like, no matter how hard, even if deep down I'm broken about the fact that we're breaking up, because I still want you, I know that I'm never going to get that out of my head. I saw it.
Right.
I physically, like with my own eyes, saw you not choose me in a moment.
Yeah.
And choose to do something else. So I don't think there's any coming back from that. No, like the anger is just me. Now I can't control myself. Like I would just be mad.
I can't imagine. I honestly cannot imagine my response to that, just because the biggest thing for me would be the fact that you allowed me to catch you doing that.
Yeah.
Because I'm in this hypothetical, we either live together or I have access to your home to just come in and like catch you doing something. And I think that would be what tipped me over the edge the most. The lack of consideration. That's the thing. And I've always talked about this when it came to like, I told myself I was going to stop saying cheating. I'm going to talk about that on the next episode. But like my thought process about stepping out is not the physical act of you doing it, but the lack of consideration that it takes for you to not be, like, if you're not terrified of me figuring that out, you know?
Wow.
It's just like,
That's crazy.
I think that's the part that I really couldn't
But put
deal
it in
with.
context though. So if we in a relationship, we together. Now, so me getting caught, right? Context. If I'm at the house we live in, all right.
That's crazy.
All right.
Number one.
What if the man literally did everything to keep it from me? I mean, he had a hotel.
But-
you
oh,
really
okay.
had to be on some, you're investigating shit to find out. Do that lessen the blow?
Yes.
Yes.
Honestly,
Okay.
absolutely. Because I think that there's when we're talking about the conversation of stepping out in relationships, I think that there's a lot of context to that needs to be talked about and discussed between the two partners before we just decide like, oh, that nigga cheated, he not shit, he don't love me, da da da. I do think that there's some context to that on a human level. I think that there's very little context to your respect for me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're going to do that, and your first thought after the decision to like step out on me isn't like, let me do whatever the fuck I gotta do, like, let me make sure that this bitch, for lack of better words, knows her place and not to say no shit or do no shit crazy that'll get me caught up, and let me make sure that there is no possible way that my partner can find this out. That I feel like almost peevy saying that, because it feels like I'm saying like that makes you like more honorable or something. And that's not necessarily what I mean, but I think that the biggest cut for me is not necessarily the act of you being involved with someone else. That it is the lack of consideration that it takes for me to find out.
Right.
And I think so. With that being said, it would be that I'm not saying that to say like that I wouldn't act out, but it would be that makes me act out. You know, it'll be like, wow, you really don't respect me at all in this moment,
right?
And I don't know how to show respect for you in return. And however that translates, I don't know. I
have
can't
you
predict.
been cheated on?
Yes, I have.
You been cheated on?
No.
Not to my knowledge.
Yeah, not to my. I mean, I have when I was like a kid.
Okay.
When I was like in high school.
And yes for me.
But
Yes.
as an
Oh,
adult,
Yes, for me as well.
Yes.
yeah, as an adult, not to my knowledge at least. But I'm also a very like the situation that Bree described it would be for me to catch you cheating. It would be something like that because it would be because I'm if I'm with you, then I trust you. And I'm not gonna say because one of my previous relationships, I never caught him cheating, but I know for a fact that he did probably cheat on me. I'm pretty sure because I started feeling unsafe, and so we just broke up.
If he did, you have no idea the energy it takes to try to hide that from a woman. It take a lot of work.
I'm sure.
A lot of unnecessary work.
I was gonna say, but as it should. Like if you're gonna do it, then you should.
So
you
what
should
man
would
would want to go through this much work, right? And I'm gonna tell you why. A lot of people, just man and woman. Y'all beautiful women, by the way.
Thank you.
So a lot of men, not a lot of men, all men, I would imagine like greet you all. Since a very young age. How long men been trying to holler at you?
It's like you looked back at me like, you buying this? That's how she looked back.
Niggas talk to you?
Right. You get attention or something?
Yeah.
Don't talk to me.
Right. And if
We haven't
you think they don't
experienced that.
talk to you, Your average nigga ain't. You not getting no attention. So we don't. A lot of us to stay in a committed relationship. It has nothing to do with you. That shit takes like
I know that.
self-discipline, self-awareness. It takes a lot of things that a lot of men really just don't have. We never really, and I'm including myself in that. I've been unfaithful in a few relationships. That type of shit is like when you're not used to it, and a woman she looking at me. It's not as easy as like, man, nah, hell no, I got a whole girl at home. Nah, our mind is like, damn,
I get it.
this shit, this don't happen a lot. And things that don't happen a lot is like, so no, it ain't that somebody want to purposely hurt you. That shit take, like the bullshit we be on and the lying and all that goofy shit. We don't really want to do that. But, and it might sound crazy, but he might care that much that he trying and... No, and I feel you. And you'll leave him. Yeah. And you'll probably get with somebody else.
But I don't think that there's necessarily a lack of love and care because you stepped out.
Yeah, no.
But I think that it is the other things and how long if you can disrespect me in the interim, which is disrespectful altogether, especially because I'm a boundaries bitch, and we was talking about this with some friends a couple weeks ago in a very heated debate. But I'm in a space, and of course it wasn't always this way, but I'm in a space now where by the time we're in a relationship, you know exactly what my boundaries are. Right. So you have to actively decide. I'm about to do something that I know she doesn't want, that she doesn't consent to. Like she does not agree to this, and I'm gonna do it anyway. And that's when it gets a little like, But it's like a lot of times in my past, we weren't, we just learning all these buzzwords and I'm learning a whole lot about psychology and relationships and all this stuff. When I was in my first relationship as an adult, I didn't talk about my boundaries, and you know what I'm saying, and when I got cheated on, it was very clear, but it was also like, okay, I didn't stay with that nigga. That was definitely the final fucking straw, but I could at least look back and understand, like, okay, I could see how it got there. If I'm with somebody now and you do that, after I tell you exactly what is and what isn't okay, and we have that conversation for us both, not just me, I want to know your boundaries too and make sure that I'm not impeding upon them. And then we get past that point and you still do some shit like that, it's like, well, my dog, you didn't want this. It's
because like you said, I don't think that cheating is not always a direct reflection of love, like Bree said, but I do consider it a direct reflection of your respect for me. Right. And you can love me all you want. You can love me till you're blue in the face. But if you don't respect me, and and I don't know if we talked about this on the show or if we just talked about this like maybe we should in our group of friends. But we talked about how niggas hold. I ain't gonna call y'all niggas. Men hold their closest like friendships, their brothers, like in such high regard. So if you think of the amount of lying and manipulation that goes into cheating on your woman, that's also supposed to be a form of your best friend, they would never put that same amount of energy into lying to their best guy friend. Yeah. Because you like, that's my nigga. Like I fuck with him. Like why would I do that to him? Right. But men don't have that same connection when it comes to looking their girl in the face and telling her a flat out lie.
Because you know why?
Poor behavior is more tolerated in their male friend groups than it is with women.
No, my weakness in that area doesn't affect my relationship with a man.
Exactly.
Right, but I'm saying.
So I might want to
in
just
another
get some
scenario,
sex.
say like some like a money
Romantic
situation comes up where you could get a lot of money in a situation, but it's gonna cause you to have to double cross your closest guy friend. Right. Are you gonna, because you want this money and we all like money, like are you going to go and look your friend in the face and tell him this lie and repeat it every single day and keep going through life like everything is fine until it all blows up later and just be like, it was the money, I couldn't like I couldn't like hold myself back, I'm so sorry. It's like, no, true. you're gonna understand that as much as I love money, as much as like I I want to be rich or as much as I want to be
value
that,
this relationship
I
more.
value my friendship and I respect him.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's like I would never do that to
That's
you.
such a good analogy.
And that's how
Thank you so much for
you
that.
got to look at sex in your partner.
Yep.
Is
Yeah.
how I feel.
No, and
I
I'm with
wanna
that.
buck that up.
I'm with that.
He's like, no, I really agree. Just
No,
don't
I
do
do.
it.
No, you're like, yeah, but
He's like,
these
no.
bitches,
Yeah, I
it's
do
stronger
agree.
than money.
Okay, we're gonna do one more.
And I do believe that.
Yeah.
One more
gotta be.
hypothetical. Let me pick a good one.
Pussy is more valuable than
Okay,
money.
well, we're kind of in this realm of
We
sex.
actually get money to get pussy.
Exactly.
That's why money's such a big deal because it all goes
Pussy
up.
was the first thing traded
Oh.
before currency.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, last
Look at
one.
me.
What would you do if you were propositioned for sex and they were gonna offer you like $50,000? Like, I'll pay you $50,000.
Who's the person? I don't see why
An
this is a hard question.
attractive woman wanted to offer you $50,000 to have sex with her. Would you do it?
Me personally, is something up to it. To me, I'm going into it with me personally. I wouldn't do it just based on the fact like it's too good to be true, right?
Okay.
Like, damn, you
So
gonna
you
give
would
me?
be your first side. You're gonna be just like nervous, like nah.
Yeah. I
something's
had some money
skeptical, like,
opportunities. Yeah, I had money opportunities, and then I had pussy opportunities, and you giving me both, like something.
Like,
up.
is it Christmas?
Yeah, something. up.
Like, no.
Either them bills fake or you burning, or it's just something to it. To me, I'm gonna try to find a negative to it.
But
me
I
personally.
think I would take that information and ask more questions and do more digging. But I'm not going to just say, nah. I'm going to be like, why? One. But also,
and he gonna be like, because you fine.
And I'm
and
gonna
I
be
got
like,
50 grand.
True. And then I'm just going to make sure that we can provide each other with our most
History.
up-to-date test
Our
results.
history, yeah.
Our sexual history in STD format. In STD testing format, as long as we can trade that off and it is current and
Yeah.
up to date. And I find you attractive. Well, that's number one. I find you attractive enough to have sex with you at all. You just want to give me $50K for?
I'm gonna want to do it again. I'm gonna call her back next week. Like, hey, give me.
Like, got another 50.
Yeah, you got another-
Got another
Keep this
50.
arrangement going.
Because I've got more dick. That's how. Like,
I'm
didn't
ready.
run out of that.
So y'all-
Send in text.
Michael, would you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, 50K.
Yeah, as long as I can get
All-
my
all the
questions
things that you
answered.
said? Yeah.
As long as I can get my questions answered, absolutely.
Yeah.
Baby,
Yeah.
I don't
that's
know.
the dream.
I think it's a version of me that I think it just depends on what version of me is outside. And I think there is the natural, like the me at the top of my head thinks no. Because I
Yeah.
think that I would want to. I think my initial reaction would be like, okay. But then I think that putting a number on myself would start making me think, I would constantly start being like, it should be more. You know, and then I don't know
Ooh,
at what
oh, girl.
point I would be like, okay, now it's enough.
That's a hot number,
Like
though.
it would be,
That's a yeah.
but when
I
it
got way too
comes
much
to,
free sex
if I
to turn
literally
down.
don't know you, like I've never spoken to you before, so the thought of having sex with this person has never crossed my mind.
Right.
And now I'm only doing it because you're offering me money.
Right.
That means I'm deciding like, yeah, my pussy is worth, you know, or like my body is worth like this amount. And I think
Yeah.
that would make me be like, low key, it's really worth 100. And then he'll be
Ooh,
like, all
come on,
right, I'll
girl.
give you 100. And I'll be like, 150.
Well, yeah.
Like, I could just see me
number
doing
is
that.
going
Right, but then there's another version of me that, depending on how, like if he's fine, like if I'm really, really attracted to this
Yeah,
person,
that's the
and if I
point.
peeped it ahead of time, I think that's what really, I think I need to feel like there was some form of attraction or some wheels turning
Without
in my
the money.
head before the proposition came.
Yeah.
I think I need to know that I was like, little do you know, I was already coming your way. Like, and then it's
Do
like,
it anyway.
you put, right, and then you put the cherry on top talking about, I'll give you 50 grand. Sure. But I think a complete ass stranger, like I'm just walking down the street and he's like, 50 grand, come get in this
Yeah.
car. I'll
Right.
be like, nah,
You know,
boss.
there are men walking this earth that have had this for years and hadn't taken me to the damn movies. So you know what I mean? So, you know, shout out to Young Bree. We have grown and evolved, but I just know that I need to humble myself a little bit. I'm not about to argue with you about $50,000 when I done let somebody fuck me for a McChicken. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
But you didn't let them fuck you for a McChicken.
No, not
you,
for a McChicken, but it's like
right,
that's all
you fucked them
because
you wanted to, because you had there was a you
There's an
wanted to
attraction
do it.
there.
They didn't put, they
loved
wasn't
him.
you wasn't not into that person at all. Then they was just like, give me
course.
some, and you was like, fine.
Because I
You
got
gotta
a
Like,
take me to McDonald's first.
Oh, if you give me a McChicken, because my mom won't buy them anymore.
Of course, the circumstances are different, but I think I would be thinking like, girl, you didn't gave that thing up, and you know, like you didn't risk it for way
Real
less.
talk,
Like,
Hey, but
I
just
love
to give
that.
you the price about that, man, strippers fucking for like 60, 75 now. I think,
okay.
nah, dollars.
60 or $75.
$80 is a...
Not none of the. Are you
wait,
not talking
wait.
about the like
Not like
famous
for some
ones?
Good, not like for
The
some
ones that I
good-
know.
For some good.
quality pussy. You probably gonna pay.
$60?
No, for
Oh.
some quality pussy. You man, you gonna pay like 500. So that's what I'm saying. Like 50K is like, oh yeah, y'all getting offers a lot of.
That's
But that would also be cool
$80
if I was like,
sex is kinda
if I did
correct.
sex
I'm
work,
not shaming
though.
anybody.
That's when the 50 grand is gonna be like, shit, hell yeah, because
Yeah.
I do, like you just said, I just
do
fucked
this.
somebody for $500, so of course I'm gonna give you the
if
do it
I
to
get
you.
out
But
of bed with a nigga I don't know and he hands me $80,
$80.
I'm
I can't
sorry.
deal with this.
No, that's
Just that.
Yeah.
That-
no, I can't imagine. I mean, like obviously I can imagine because I know that that's happening, but not like.
$80.
But these not the strippers that I would want to see.
No, and it's not.
like-
Yeah, and it's
No
not.
shade.
It's not.
Yeah.
I'm literally
Right.
just talking about a typical. I don't want the stripper community getting mad at me,
No,
man.
no, 'cause
it's
I-
some
No,
of them.
no,
yeah,
no.
We do
I'm
love
learning
it.
something new here. If anything, if you are watching this, step it up.
You ain't never had to
Girl.
buy pussy, so that's why.
I've never had to
50,000
buy
is
no
like,
pussy. The girls
but
give
nah,
it to
to
me
a lot
for
of
free.
women. Oh yeah, yeah. Nah, 50K is that's a.
Yep, I mean,
man.
50K would do a lot for me right now,
Yeah.
and for very little, it seems like. What?
For very little too.
Talk about what? Get on my hands
That's
and
why-
knees for 12 minutes.
And that's why I said there got to be a catch to it. You want to fuck me? Like I'm confident
you
in
wanna
myself,
fuck me?
but damn, 50K.
Me?
Like shit. Okay. Yeah, it got to be something to it, man. Where the
think it
cameras
will
at?
be.
I think it's a trick going
Oh,
on.
true. Like you gonna put this on Pornhub?
Yeah, and don't let it be attractive. Man, my
Well, I'm
wheels will be
definitely.
spinning.
I'm coming with paperwork
Yeah, we
Yeah.
gotta
and
sign some
NDAs
things.
and all types of stuff.
That's
Talk
such a
about
good
don't.
idea.
You can't tell nobody.
Well,
Yeah.
this was fun.
Exactly.
I feel like I would tell people though if I
What,
did
about
that.
Oh hell yeah!
If I did that,
I would come
Yeah,
right
you're
to the
deciding who you
podcast.
tell.
And say,
No, I
No.
honestly think that I wouldn't have like if I made that decision. That's such a clear. Yeah, I fucked this person and he gave me 50 grand. I don't think I would mind people knowing that.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Go
Like
girl.
I don't like. I feel like a part of me would just at that point, if I agree to do it, I can't care. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to have that. Like if I know that it's gonna weigh on me, like I gotta keep this a secret. Like please don't tell. Then I shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah,
Like I shouldn't do it.
I think I
like-
would tell them to make it 49,000, and you taking me on a hot date first.
Just to, for moral sake, to make you feel.
not for moral sex, but just for like, I mean, since you got it, like let's make this fun.
Let's do something.
like let's go to dinner, let's get a hotel, like let's make it fun, you know.
I would want to get it over
over.
with.
Get it over with.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
not if you're attracted to her necessarily. If you're looking at her and you're like, I would have fucked you anyway.
But then
like-
also, you know how we talk about the things that we're attracted to in people. Am I attracted deep down to
a nigga
niggas
that's
that
gonna-
offers
Yes, I
bitches
am.
$50 grand to fuck them all the time? I don't know.
I mean,
Might
I
turn you
would
off.
I would hope that it's not something that you do on a regular
Often.
basis.
Yeah, I was
like
about
if
to
this
ask,
is
like-
just your thing, I probably wouldn't be attracted to that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think I
Exactly.
think you're kind of lame. But I'm not saying that I wouldn't do it, but I'm saying that goes back to how you were saying you want to just get it over with.
Yeah.
I would be more inclined to
Yeah.
want to just get it over with because I'm like, you're really not my type of nigga at the core.
Yeah.
So I don't think I
Right.
need to spend
That
that much
makes
time with you.
sense.
I just want. The
I think
bread.
I'm just idealizing it, and making like a whole fantasy of it. Like obviously, this is like the man of my dreams. I love him so much.
Well, then he should be approaching you on like some Christian Grey type stuff. It shouldn't be
Right.
like such a transaction.
But that's
You
how
know,
I'm picturing it. I'm picturing like literally a nigga just hit the lottery, and it's just like, you know what? Like I just want to fuck a bad bitch, and like I want to make it worth her while. I
Let's-
just want to spoil a bitch, and I
let's-
want some pussy out of it.
Let's step up the
I
hypothetical.
could be
What
that
if it was a
bitch.
married couple or a couple that
Yeah.
presented
Be
this
a
to
unicorn? Yeah, I'll do it.
you? Yeah.
Aw.
If they're
I'm
both
out.
if they're both attractive,
And they just want you to join a bedroom.
I would do it for
Yeah.
50K. I would absolutely do it.
yeah, I'm out, guys.
I think I'm.
Like
'Cause
I
I'm-
said, I've had a free threesome
No.
that sucked. So you know, it's like if I can rewrite some of my sexual history, like, and redo it and get money for it, I would for sure.
Yeah, I think I would.
For sure.
I think I would definitely do it.
Yeah, if they're both
Not me.
attractive, I would do that.
So
If
when,
I am not attractive, if I am attracted to them both.
so in the proper terms, you do know that this decision make us all prostitutes, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and we cool with that.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I thought about that.
She said,
You're like,
But
doesn't
yeah, no,
bother me
I
at all.
don't. I'm not attracted to women though.
You're not.
Sexually.
Okay.
So that would turn into a
Talk to your
whole
mains,
different
bitches.
thing.
and that's where I'm buying you to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
See,
when it
and
becomes
see,
a little
the
bit
term
more.
that you just used is what takes me back to when I said I would keep raising the
Right,
price,
right.
because when I think about it that plain and simple, like, oh, you're buying me.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, I'm gonna need a little more than.
I think
Yeah,
it's
you're
like
a
branding,
product, girl.
you know,
Come on
it's
now,
not
you're a
But we
product.
can't dress it up
You're
cute.
not gonna
It can't
own
be a guy that's attractive that you would probably fuck anyway. Of course you would. Let's say if it's.
No, it has to be that.
So if they're not
that's
attractive.
easy
Those are the
then.
terms.
No, if
What
I'm
if
gonna
they're
pay you
not
$50,000, I
No.
gotta convince you to do it. If you're
Not
gonna
a-
do it anyway,
No, if I'm not attracted to them, it's a no.
the $50K won't work.
I don't think it will.
That's
no.
what the $50K for, though.
But what if it's a type of not attractive where it's like they're not necessarily ugly or quote unquote ugly, but it's just not. That wasn't the
I'm
guy
not
that
attract-
you weren't paying him any attention.
If we have to do something to get me wet because my body just doesn't respond to you in that way because I'm not attracted to you in that way, then it's not worth it to me.
Okay. So you're only saying yes if
Because you're
he's
not
attractive.
aroused. That's gonna be a weak ass experience.
I mean, it won't necessarily be weak.
Not weak, but like you're not gonna be that much into it.
At that point, it's literally going to feel like I'm fucking for money, and that's it.
It's
That's what you're
forced.
doing, though.
But I can still.
Well, she's
enjoy
saying
it.
if he's attractive,
no,
she's
you-
like,
if I'm not attracted
not
to the
just
person,
fucking
it's
for money.
literally
I'm
gonna
also
be like,
fucking
I'm just
because
fucking
I
for
like
money.
it.
And
Right.
that's, I don't think I have that in me, to be
No.
honest. No, I gotta like you. I gotta like look at you and be like, yeah, I'm gonna put that somewhere. You know?
How much? What's the statistic of women you think would go if you
have
just had
no
to
idea.
guess?
So many.
I think a lot, but I
Like
have
70,
no idea.
80, more than 50% of the women would do it.
Yes.
I don't know if I could say that.
No,
I think so, but I don't think so because like not because I just think bitches' morals is so low, but I think that so many women
I
would
don't
do it
think that's a
because
reflection of
women
people's
are historically being so many like you think of like all the
Yeah.
single mothers.
I'm in a bind, Nate.
You know, like it's
bind.
so many things that when and then you tell a woman like, oh, I'll give you 50 grand,
Yeah.
that you automatically are thinking like, oh, this will save my life. Like so many women or women stay in abusive relationships,
Yep.
getting their ass beat because they don't know how they're gonna pay their bills without that person.
Yeah.
So I think so many women would do it on some survival type shit.
Yeah.
I feel like so many women would agree, and it would turn into kind of like how Bree's saying, like I literally just had sex for money
Yeah.
because they're not all gonna enjoy it. Some of them are probably gonna cry afterwards and be like, I can't believe I did this, but they're gonna do it
I'll cry
because
during, like Stony. Gross. Anyway, sorry.
Wait, so before we end, Vo, tell us what you got going on before we
Yes,
close
please.
out.
I'm working on like 3 albums.
Yeah.
Yep, with a
Love
guy,
that.
my brother John Blue. Me and Corporate just did a single that should be coming out.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Shout out to corporate.
Yeah, me and Sandy Red got a single coming out soon.
I
Don't know
love
if y'all
her.
familiar.
Beautiful
with Sandy.
voice.
What else I got going on? I'm in this play tomorrow with Richard Galley, and that's gonna be off the hook. And just grinding, putting the car joints out, and just a continue of what I'm already doing, pretty much.
Good.
Love
Well, we
it.
definitely love to see it. We really appreciate you
Yeah.
coming and hanging out with us today.
Yep.
And tell the people where they can follow you on the things. the social
Instagram,
medias.
I go by Lyrical Ivo. YouTube and Facebook, I go by Vo Music.
Okay.
This is like my 3rd interview in the last 5 years. I do not do interviews.
I thought you were about to say 3rd interview like this week.
No,
Yes, I thought he was about to be like,
Nah,
this is like my 3rd
I hate
interview
'em. It be
today.
the stupidest shit, the stupidest. And this was like, I did my homework on y'all and was like, this shit gonna be fun.
Good.
Did you have fun?
And it was fun.
I'm
Good.
glad.
I
Yeah.
know you
We're
enjoyed
happy that-
yourself.
We're happy that you had
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah,
today.
come back.
Yeah,
Yes,
I will.
you are more than welcome, literally anytime.
Yeah.
And it was a pleasure getting to know you on a personal level, but also getting to know you from a distant level too. Just learning about what you do and your music, and I'm really excited to see what you do next.
Thank you.
So thank you for sharing with us. As for the rest of y'all, please continue to do all the things that you've always done and follow us where you can follow us. That's on Instagram at Away with Words the podcast and on TikTok Go follow our TikTok. And you can follow me on Instagram at Bree.stories and on Twitter at Bree_stories. And you can follow at A_Tati on Instagram and at A_Tati on Twit. And you know by now, do I have to say it? You have to be following at MJMKid and at Moments_Stu because you just should, okay? We love y'all so much and we'll see you next week. Everybody say bye.
Bye.